My quest for the holy grail of media players continues. This is the RockTek GX1 Google TV. This media player is one of three that uses the RockTek1325 system on a chip. And the specifications are outstanding. Whether it proves to be true or not, we will find out. Here's the specifications. Quite impressive. Dolby Vision and HDR10+. It is amazing. Keep watching and we will see what this device is capable of. It has a sleeve, so we'll take the sleeve off. Here is the box that the device comes in. It contains a user manual, device itself, a 12-volt, 1-amp power supply, HDMI cable, and an awesome Google reference remote control. Now this is Bluetooth and infrared. This is the top of the box. This is the front of the device. Now this one has a LED bar that changes colors. This is the right side. The left side has two USB 2 ports. And here's the rear. It's got the SPDIF, which is fiber optic audio. It's got the AV port, HDMI 2.1B, I believe, HDMI port, and it's got a fast Ethernet port, not gigabit. And that is your power port on the right. Here's the bottom of the device, and there are no ventilation holes that I can find. All right, let's go connect it to the TV and see what it does. Okay, we just got it installed and connected to our TV. Let's just take a look and see what the interface looks like. Again, this is Google TV, not Android TV. And I tested another device that uses the same system on a chip from Mecoil, and I could not figure out how to get rid of some of these applications. But anyway, that's what it looks like. Now I'll show you a little bit more before we get into the technical details of this, because it is quite involved. Let's scroll over and take a look at the settings. Display and sound, video, HDR output mode, Dolby Vision on, and I don't know what a lot of these are, so I'll have to do some investigating, but it's got a lot of settings. Dolby Vision. Sync device LED, that means it's letting the TV or monitor that you're connected to, letting it do all the work. Then you've got the source device. Now that lets the device do all the calculation of what it wants to send to the TV. Then you can disable your Dolby Vision if your monitor or TV does not support that. Now here you have the HDR policy. Always HDR, adaptive, or you could turn HDR off. Depends on your monitor. Okay, I'm going to use adaptive, and I'll explain later what that means. There's your boot up screen. One thing I have to tell you, once you change it to adaptive, it would change the frequency, whether it's 24 frames per second or 60 frames per second. The screen will black out. So that's what the adaptive does. So the screen will black out when you switch frequencies. Okay, we changed it to adaptive and I had to reboot to do that. And I don't really know what that means, graphic priority or video priority. I'm not sure. Here you've got the CEC inputs. I do not use that, so I will probably disable that. And you got text scaling. Now the next one is match content frame rate. You got seamless, non-seamless, and never. Now seamless, it says only if your TV can perform a seamless transition. Now that's what I was talking about earlier. If it does not support that, you're going to get a black screen every time it changes frequency. So we have non-seamless because our device does not support seamless. Now under advanced display settings, format selection, instead of automatic, I put it on manual so we can take a look. It supports HDR10, HDR+, HLG, and it says Dolby Vision unsupported. Now there's a little issue here because my TV does support it and this box supports Dolby Vision. So I'm going to take a look at that. Next you have AISR. So that's artificial intelligence, but I'm not sure what the SR means. Audio, HDMI output, and I'll keep it at auto because I'm not using bitstream. And maybe later I'll change it to pass-through if I'm having audio issues. Okay, again, MS-12 preferred output. It's got matte or Dolby Digital Plus and Dolby Atmos. So I'm not sure what those mean, but I always use Dolby Atmos. Now you have a lot of Dolby audio settings too. DAC4, now I use that, so we're going to put that on high. Not too many devices use that audio codec. Now under the advanced sound settings, automatic or never. So it does not break down each individual codec of what it supports, but it says automatic. Here's your apps. See all apps. Uninstall, I'll uninstall that. Hulu, I can uninstall that. So this is where you can access and uninstall some of them, but some of these you cannot uninstall. Manage updates. See available updates. Again, I just set this up, so it's got apps that it needs to update. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Let's take a look at the app permissions. Here's special app access. These can modify the system settings. Display over other apps. And security. Scan apps with Play Protect. Improve harmful app detection. Here's the system. Accessibility, about, system update. We'll take a look at that. It's up to date. Model, UHD Google TV set-top box, Android 12, security patch level September 5th, 2024. And here's your kernel version and Android TV OS build. And that looks like September the 14th, 2024. Date and time, language. They got a lot of different languages. Keyboard, storage. We have available 25 gigabytes of internal storage. Ambient mode. Google Photos, now that's probably what I will set up. So it shows my, when it goes into the screensaver mode, it shows my personal photos, art gallery, custom art, weather for your area, Fahrenheit, yes, time. Anyway, you've got all kinds of settings to change here. Power and energy, power on behavior, standby mode, sleep or suspend, 20 minutes active. It's got a built-in Google casting, system sounds, screensaver, and that's where you can add it. When to start, there's a restart to restart the system. Okay, let's go ahead and add some apps and see what else we can determine with this device. Now that we've got through most of the boring stuff, we really want to know what can this box do and what it cannot do. So that's what I'm going to try to find out right now. Since this device only has fast Ethernet and not gigabit, so it's going to be limited on what it can do. But for as your media streamers like YouTube, Netflix, Apple TV, Fandango at home, now those are made for running less than gigabit speed. So you won't have any trouble with that. But you run into trouble if you want to use Kodi or Plex or MB, because those have higher bit rates. So we need to run gigabit Ethernet. Well, we can run the 5G Wi-Fi, or we can put an gigabit adapter to it and see if that increases our speed. So we will find out right now. Since this device does not support gigabit Ethernet, I dug out one of my old Ethernet adapters. Now this is USB 3, but again, this is only a USB 2 device. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in and check out our internet speed. Okay, this is the Ethernet port, the fast, that's built into the box. So we're gonna run a test right now. Now I have 500 megabits download and upload through my fiber optic. So this is about as much as you're going to get right here. Now that's the download speed. And again, the Ethernet cable is plugged directly to the box. So now after this test, we're going to plug in the adapter into one of the USB 2 ports and then connect the USB or Ethernet cable to that adapter. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, now we're going to run the test. And this is using the adapter, the gigabit adapter. Let's see what that gives you. Again, I have 500 gigabits download through my fiber optic cable. So this is doing pretty doggone good. So with that speed, I should not have any problem running high bit rates videos off my network. Okay, that's what I want to show you right there. So that adapter really helps. Okay, my 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band is connected. So we're going to run a speed test on that. Again, it's 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Okay, that's from the Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz band. Now I have an ASUS router. So it's giving me very respectable results. Okay, next we're going to test out the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. Okay, that's the 2.4 Wi-Fi band, and that is very respectable. So the Wi-Fi module on this device is very good, very good. Okay, I hope you can see this, but the system is a device type TV, manufacturer's Skyworth Digital. The model is UHD Google TV STB. And the brand is a RockTek, and the board is a HPR3A1325_4K. And the hardware is RTD1325. Now the majority of these media players are based on the AM logic. There's only 3 devices that I'm aware of that's using that ROCK chip. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it's got 32 gigabytes of storage. Here's the information on the CPU. Here's some information on the Android. And again, it's a RockTek chipset, system on a chip. Okay, that's a lot of information right there. Devices. Now here's the codecs. And this should cover everything. It covers all the audio codecs, including Dolby True HD and DTS HD MA. Covers all of those high definition audio codecs. It covers them all. Now here's the video codecs. You've got AV1, AVC, Dolby Vision. So you got several drivers for Dolby Vision. Now here's an interesting one. Video, VC1. Every one of these media players, no matter what system on a chip is based on, none of them, I think, except for the NVIDIA Shield, plays that VC1 video codec. They all show it they do, but they do not play it. So that VC1, all of them show it, but none of them play it. So we will find out. Again, that's another VC1. That is a Windows product. And there again, these are your video codecs. Directories, system files. Okay, let's take a look at this Dolby Vision Profile 7. Now this is supposed to show you if it actually plays the Dolby Vision Profile 7 with full enhancement layer, but this device will not play it. But anyway, you are playing. If this supported true enhancement layer, you would see a woman with binoculars, but there's none there. Okay, here's another Dolby Vision test file, and you can see there it is Dolby Vision. That's Profile 5. Here's another Dolby Vision test video clip, and it's got a frame of 24 frames per second. And now this should be an HDR10 plus video clip, but it's playing in Dolby Vision. And I'll explain why it's not playing in HDR10. Okay, here's a sample of the VC1 file that none of these boxes can play. So we'll take a look at it. Okay, there's no audio coming out of it. Jerky? No, it does not play it at all. So this device does not play the VC1 video codec. Okay, let's take a look at a couple YouTube videos with Dolby Vision. That's an AV1. Again, it's a 2160 Dolby Vision, 60 frames per second, and it is playing outstanding. The live TV channels using the over-the-air antenna, they play perfectly. And just a quick preview. I'm sure everybody's familiar with this interface of the HD Home Run. Shows again, these are over the air from an antenna on the roof. A lot of great shows and videos, movies. Okay, let's see how Pill Rider plays on Plex. Now again, this is a VC1 video codec, so it has to be transcoded. So let's take a look at that now. So if you look at the bottom, about the fourth line up, it shows it's a VC1, and you got 3 different audio codecs that it can display. Now Plex plays that VC1 perfectly. It's a 1080p, and it's changed the frame rate to 24 frames per second. The only problem is it shows Dolby Vision, and I'll explain now why all these devices play Dolby Vision when they should not. But anyway, Plex plays perfectly, all the videos. Now either they have a problem with their firmware, or I don't have a clue what I'm doing. But anyway, display mode, that's auto, that's okay. The output, HDR output mode, I've tried all these settings here, okay? And what I'm trying to do, This is where you can, that's your TV that does all the decoding, or the device on itself, or you could disable the Dolby Vision. Now here's the problem. Always HDR. I do not want always HDR. I want adaptive HDR. But when I enable that, I lose my Dolby Vision. So unless there's another setting, and I've tried the graphics, I've tried everything, but when I change this to adaptive, it messes everything up. So I think there's a problem with their coding. They need to change their firmware because they have a problem with it. And this is the only device that I've had that had issues with that. So I'll contact them and see if they can correct it. So the question is it worth it? For the price, less than $80 US, wasn't bad. Is it the holy grail of media players? No. Does it come close? Probably as close as any other ones, but still got a long way to go. So it plays all these, like Netflix, Fandango, all of those, it plays okay without issue. Now, unless you're a techie like me that wants to know what codec it's using, etc., you would never know that it's playing in Dolby Vision instead of HDR, HDR10, or whatever. So that's what I want to show you right there. So it's a decent machine, and it plays very well with either the fast Ethernet or the Wi-Fi, and even the adapter works. So that's what I want to show you. All right, thank you for watching.